Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone tuning in. This is a little bit of a spur of the moment live, but felt that I needed to come on and mention a few things to my subscribers, and we will do that as soon as I return. All right, so we're back, and again, I'm just glad that, well, so far nobody's tuning in, but hopefully that'll change in a few minutes. If not, there's, like you say, there's always playback.
Hi,
Um,
Steve.
Good morning, Jan. How are you?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Um, what I wanted to do, one of the main reasons why I wanted to come on this live this morning, is I will be acknowledging people's comments that have been left to me in the last two or three lives that I did. But what I did is I went back and picked out a few from what I saw. If I left anybody out, or if I don't mention you, if you did leave, nice words, nice comments to me, I also thank you as well. Um, there's a few people I want to mention: Lori Jones, Lucy M, Patty, Joel, and Christy. I want to say thank you to all of you for the nice words of encouragement. I am doing better. I believe in the old saying, slow and steady wins the race. Um, I am using a computer chair, probably not the best thing in the world to help, get me around. But I am able to take a bath. I can get out of the chair into the bathtub without using the railing. And I can get out of the tub with my feet extended. I bring it back and I put my hands on both sides and I lift up and I put myself back in the chair. So I'm doing that. I'm also trying to walk around my bed at least a couple of three times. I put my hand on the bed lightly, to give me a little balance. One time, a few days ago, I did take my hand off the bed slightly and I took 3 steps. That's another improvement. Also, not that I'm trying to sound too TMI, I was putting on a pair of shorts and I was able to stand up, reach down and grab them and pull them up to my waistline and button them. So
Progress.
I'm coming along. Everything is slow and steady. I hurt my left foot last month. And I think I rushed into things too fast, which is why I'm kind of paying for it now. Not in a bad way. Felt that way at first. But I'm going to make sure everything is right this time. If it takes me a month, which it's coming up on that, if it takes me a month and a half, so be it. I just want everything, to be correct. I just want to return to my normal self. Of course, I'm going to take my time and, I'm not going to go from A to Z. I'm going to slowly build myself back up. Oh, what happened?
What? I'm right here.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Your image froze.
It happened. Yours was doing the
why.
same as well. I think we're having internet issues.
Was it? Okay, then. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to go on with the show.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, Lori, Lucy, Patty, Joel, and Christy, I want to thank all of you guys for the nice words of encouragement. On behalf of Joel and Christy, I hope from the back issue that you had from your laptop cord. I hope you're doing better. That's no fun. I have actually done that before, where your foot gets caught and you trip and boom and you fall. That, like I said, I threw my back out back in 2002, and I was laid up in bed for almost 2 weeks. And this kind of sort of almost reminds me of when that happened. But I did recover, but also keep in mind, I was also much heavier in weight. Okay, you keep fading in and out. I'm not sure why,
I see me
but
loud
I'm
and
not going to
clear.
worry about it.
I see me loud and clearly, so it's coming across
Okay,
clearly on my end.
No, you're fine. No, but on your end, you faded off. It might be the internet on my end. I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm just going to continue. So I'm not, if you can't control it, go with it. All right.
Exactly.
Now, that's what I wanted to point out. And if I missed anybody's name, you're also included. Again, I want to thank you. Now, Janet, you said you wanted to expand upon your live,
Yes.
not your live,
And
or
thank
your
you.
upload.
Before I even get into it, I just want to say, Steve, I'm really happy that you're, making, progress. And Rome was not built in a day, and we all start off with the baby steps. So what may be right for someone else may not be right for you. So we can't like cookie cutter and say things like, well, it took me 1 minute. Everybody's progress is different. But I just want to say that I'm really, really happy. Every time I speak with you, you're making, better progress in your, recovery. So I'm thrilled about that.
It's not a lot each day. It's a little, even if it's one baby step, anything is better than nothing. That's how I look at it. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I just want to start off with that, because to me, that's way more important than everything else. This morning, I uploaded a video about basically living well for less. And you know what it is, Steve? The idea is that a lot of people think that you have to spend a lot of money to have good times. You have to spend a lot of money to enjoy your family. You have to spend a lot of money. That is absolutely not true. But the major point of that video today was to swap it out and never feel deprived, to get creative in things. For example, let's say right at the moment, you really, really, really want to join a gym, okay? And it's a specific gym that is not necessarily the cheapest gym, for example, but at this moment, you have savings goals. But at the same time, you want to exercise and lose weight. Exercise is free. Moving around is for free. You don't have to pay $1 every time you lift your arm. Heaven forbid, right? So in the interim, until you have met your savings goal, because you can still move around for free. I mean, Steve, there are so many tutorials right here on this platform for, exercising and information like that you could follow, and the free music and everything. So this is just an example of, you still get to accomplish your goal. You still get to work towards your goal, but you're swapping it out for a freebie version for now. That's not to say you'll never get to go to the professional gym if this is so much your desire. It's like living within your means.
Actually, I'm living proof of this. I'll tell you something else I'm able to do. I did it the other day, and I need to go back to it. I sat on my bed, and I was able to do this from my knees down. I was able to do 15 of these, no problem.
That's great.
Another day I came back and I did 20. So if I'm able to do this, and I've done, and I brought my feet, and I brought them up, and when I'm on my bed, I've done that a few times. If I can do that, I'm on a good road to getting to where I need to be. But that's not what I wanted to say. You do not have to go to a gym necessarily in order to
Oh,
lose weight. I've mentioned this story before, but since you always have new people coming in, I lost, this was back in 2004. It's coming up on 17 years, as a matter of fact. I had to make a life change at 29 going on 30. I lost a good 100 pounds. All you
no
have to do,
small feat.
all you have to do, well, one of the things I did was cut out all sodas. That was the biggest thing. I had to go back and reteach myself how to eat properly. Not that I wasn't eating right before, but before I would eat anything and everything. Oh, I'm in my 20s. I'm young. Nothing's going to hurt me. Well, not necessarily. Not when I went to the doctor and I found out what my blood pressure was, 152 over 103.
And you were young and you had that hypertension.
29 going on 30. And I was 321 pounds at the time.
And you did something about it.
I lost weight.
That's what I'm saying. You did something about it.
Right. How did I
It's
lose
not, it's
weight?
not a question, it's a statement.
How did I lose weight? I didn't go to a gym. I just went walking. I went outside.
Thank you. Thank
went
you.
up-
Amen.
Well, at first I would go to this, this one place and I would walk. Of course, I slowly had to build myself up. I would walk like 3/4 of a mile or a mile at first. I would slowly build up. The last time I really walked. I was up to like 3 1/4, but that was a little much for me. I felt comfortable with about 2, a good 2. I would leave in the morning, about 5:20. I had my coffee to speed up my metabolism, and I would stay gone at least a good 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just as daylight was starting to, turn daylight.
Yeah.
Not quite,
Yeah.
and then I would be coming back in, and that was my walk for the day. I would, built up a little sweat, got in the shower, changed, put on
Right.
clean clothes, and I would do that about 4 or 5 days a week.
I have a question for you. Not one time did you feel deprived doing that, did you? You didn't feel deprived. And you still got your goal accomplished. This is living proof that you do not have to spend $1 an arm lift.
You don't
In
have
the
to.
morning.
You don't have to spend you don't have to spend any money going to a gym. You could actually exercise right in your own home. You can
Right.
stand up and do, bring your arms back forward, arms back, clap, arms, but you're exercising. I'm exercising right now.
Exactly. Exactly. Even people with limited mobility. So,
Or even if you don't have, just, you can do jumping jacks. You can stand in one spot, reach down and touch your feet and come back up, exercise.
you know what I do, Steve? It was even evident on one of my videos that I believe it's still up. I know I went on that delete thing at one time. I believe it's still up. There's a video of me exercising because in the morning, before I get out of bed, I will exercise from my bed. I'll do those leg raises, those stretches. What an amazing feeling to feel more limber, especially when you're of a certain age. And I am 62. I make no bones about it. I'm already circulating and my muscles have moved a little bit gently. And it feels so much better for me than just jumping out. Because then, when you sleep in a wrong position, you feel a little stiff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this doesn't cost not even a nickel.
It doesn't.
It just costs time, a minute, thinking, planning. I don't feel deprived.
No, you shouldn't. So,
do things in life that don't make you feel deprived. Do things that give you pleasure. For example, I can't be at the beach today, but I can pull up the many beautiful videos on this platform, and we could decide if I want to put it on the large screen and stare at the ocean. And I have done that.
mm-hmm.
And just zoned out because, limitations going on at the moment, things are getting better, thankfully. But At the moment, there's still limitations. So for anyone that's craving that, did it cost me anything? No, it just cost me a couple of clicks. We don't have to feel deprived. The thing is this, Steve, really the majority of the ideas on the video is to point towards staying motivated. It's not about deprivation. It's about reaching a goal. So that one day, if you really, 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 really still want that gym, for example, and I do not knock the gym. God bless anybody that can, can do it or whatever. God bless you for it. But for those who are in transition that are trying to be able to afford it, then when they can afford it, hey, go for it. It's not about continuously, denying yourself stuff. It's working towards being able to do all of that plus some and save.
I actually have a true story. This actually happened to me. I did join a gym when I was a teenager. I joined for 1 month. My dad, I forget how much it was. I joined a gym for 30 days. I lost weight, but I lost weight too quickly. Of course, while I was there, I learned, different ways to, I learned little snacks you could eat. Like you could take cottage cheese and, your favorite canned fruit and mix it together. Or you can do that with yogurt, not necessarily just cottage cheese. Depends on what. I've done it both ways. I lost weight at the end of a month too quickly. One little problem. If you lose weight too fast, you're going to put it back on quickly.
Yeah. That's usually a tendency. Yeah.
I mean, let's think back. I was old enough to remember it. I think you're old enough to remember it if you were maybe not an avid watcher, but if you watched it on a fairly regular basis. There was a time Oprah Winfrey, she was full-figured, heavy set. The next season of her show, she comes out and she takes this trench coat or whatever off, and she's thin as a rail.
Yes, I remember that.
So from May to September, she loses all this weight. But that was a no-no because all that weight wound up going back on.
Yeah, rapid weight loss is actually quite unhealthy, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor. Rapid weight loss is a shock to the body, but whatever. I mean, I don't want anybody to say, oh, what did you say? That's my opinion. Because first of all, you end up putting it back on.
Quickly.
You have to change the editing button, not, anybody out here personally. One has to change, myself, anyone. You really have to change your mindset when you approach any sort of goal.
Right.
This instance, we're discussing weight for a second or exercising for a second. But even with financial, you have to change your mindset. Oh, you can't walk around forever. Oh, I must have that $5 cup of coffee. Really? You must? All right. Once every 6 months, maybe with a friend, treat, fine. Every day? I mean, if you can do it and it doesn't change your life, fine. But I just can't understand somebody that would be, gee, I wonder why my lights are going to go out soon. And you're buying breakfast outside. How much does a dozen eggs cost by you, Steve? Just wondering.
Well, I have eggs, like I said, and I have 8. I can give you the price of an 18 count.
Okay.
Do you want
approximately?
Okay. I like to use Eggland's eggs if at all possible. Now, a dozen Eggland's runs about $2.80 a dozen. Now, I have a dozen and a half Eggland's that a good friend of mine, my roommate as well, went to the store and got me last night. 18 extra large Eggland's is $4.59. And that's at one of the better grocery stores. Exactly.
If a person went out and spent the highest dollar amount on the quote, end of quote, best egg product, whatever, organic, certain wrappings to it, whatever, labels, whatever, even if they got the so-called designer eggs, as I call them, but even if you did that, it is still way cheaper than going to the diner 4 times a week to get eggs.
It is.
I'm sorry, forgive me, but Janet, just can't see it. I'd rather put that money somewhere else, maybe towards a vacation.
That's a good idea.
Or the emergency fund. For eggs. I'm sorry. I really believe that people are not paying for eggs. They're really paying for the dining experience. Does that make sense to you, Steve?
It does, because breakfast at a good diner, your egg, your hash brown, your toast, and your meat is going to run you right around $5.50, $6. Don't get me wrong. There's a good mom and pop place on the other side of town that makes hot and fresh. I mean, it comes right off the grill. It's great.
I'm sure.
But for $4.59, okay, that sounds like a lot for 18-count eggs. Yeah, but look at how many eggs. That's 2 weeks worth of eggs if you eat 2 a day.
Bingo.
Or if you don't eat eggs each day, and let's say you eat eggs about 3-4 times a week, and you want something a little sweet, like a little pastry or a pie, or something different, or if you want to have French toast or change it up a little bit, then your eggs is more than 2 weeks. Now you may even be going into 3 weeks. So in actuality, it's not that bad of a price.
No.
Another, come back to your $5 coffee. Right. I was doing this about a year ago. A large Dunkin' Donut coffee. Don't get me wrong, they have good coffee.
Love it.
$2.57 for a large. Now, I try to drink a couple of 3, maybe 4 different brands of coffee. I can go Folgers. I can do 8 o'clock. I can do Medaglia d'Oro, which is an Italian espresso if I want that. Hills Brothers. I mean, I can just drink, Bustelo, different ones. I bought a little over a 2-pound bag of 8 o'clock coffee, and I just happened to finish it, my second cup. A little over a 2-pound bag of 8 o'clock coffee. I think it cost me like $7 or $8 and some change. But look at how many cups of coffee I'm going to make out of that bag at Dunkin' Donuts. That's only going to give me about 3, maybe 3.5 cups. That's it.
It's amazing. I mean, and some people say, well, it's easier for me to, get the coffee. Now, maybe I'm crazy. Well, I know I am a little bit. I mean, I think outside the box as a creative person, but let's think about this logically. To me, walking to the coffee maker, taking 20 seconds, doing it or instant, even faster, right?
In there.
Versus take a shower, get dressed, get to the car, drive over or walk over, whatever. Where is that easier? I mean, okay, if you're on the road and you forgot to bring your coffee with you and you're really dying for, I get it. I really do. Or if you're going specifically to buy a family, a dozen, donuts or whatever. If there's intent and purpose with it, fine. But to do that, to give me the argument, it's easier. I personally don't buy that argument 100%. I just don't see it. I don't see where it's easier.
Now, I'm going to say this part, and then I'm going to go over to the comments, and there's not too many, but I want to acknowledge that. I don't want to sound like I'm leaving everybody out, but
absolutely.
Dunkin' Donuts Krispy Kreme, which is my top favorite of donut if you're going to go to a donut shop. But I can also go to Publix, which is down here in the South Florida. Their main office or main building headquarters is in Lakeland, which is about 3 hours from me. But they cover, the South, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. Anyway, I can go there and get a dozen donuts a little bit cheaper than I can Dunkin' or Krispy Kreme, and they taste almost as good because they're made fresh. They put love into everything they do.
Right.
And one of the ones that I like is the cream-filled Long John. The Long John with the white
I,
cream.
I heard of it, but I have not had it.
They have that one. They also have one that's got like a vanilla custard in the middle. It's almost like an
Oh
eclair.
my. Oh,
So I like the one with the white powdered cream fluff in the middle. That's so, I would much rather just go to Publix and just get it there. It's going to cost me $1.50, $2 less, but I'm still getting a good quality, fresh made product. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the donut shop.
exactly. And yeah, okay. So I know you're going to your comments.
Well, yeah, I don't want to, plus I'm seeing what time it is.
Yes.
Lucy M. and Mandy. Let's see here. Who else is here this morning? Lucy M. and Mandy. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Lucy M. again, like I said, I want to thank you for your nice, kind words. I'm getting there. And mentally, my mind feels like getting up and running a 5K marathon, but my body's like, whoa, no,
Yeah.
notch it down. Let's see. Okay, Lucy M says, I see you fading in and out. Steve, Jan is okay. Okay, so it would have had to have been an internet thing. So apparently they
Yeah, it's an internet thing. Unfortunately.
Lucy M has a couple of actual comments here. She says, I think it's to have a mindset of taking it one day at a time and do small changes in eating and exercise as we are capable to do, and to think long term for the improvements to be seen. That's absolutely correct.
That's awesome.
That is absolutely right. That's what I had to do back in 2004, 2005. Of course, my mother fell ill in 05, and of course, unfortunately, she did not improve. We know the end result, but that is correct on, making small changes. You don't want to rush into anything too fast. If you do that, you're just going to mess everything up. That's at least that's the way it's all. I have noticed if I take things slower, like I'm doing with this, trying to get back. Oh, don't get me wrong. I could probably attempt standing here and try walking, but I want to, like I said, I took 2 or 3 steps with my hand off the bed. That's a start.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have to hold my hand on the bed and walk around. At least my feet and my legs are moving. That's the idea.
Your injury, your body, your progress. It is not cookie cutter.
No. Another comment that Lucy M has also said here is, being home a lot since last year, I have gotten used to feel good about eating home all the time. That's true. That's very true. I see the savings and I don't feel like spending money for a small treat I can eat home. That's very true. You're going to save a lot more money eating at home. Okay, let's say you get the urge to want to go to Dairy Queen. Don't get me wrong, I love their blizzards. Who doesn't?
Right.
But if you think about something, if you have a blender or a NutriBullet or something that can chop up nuts and little Oreo cookies or whatever you want to put in it, your candies, you could make your own form of a blizzard at home.
It's true.
It can be done. Why go out and pay $3, $4 or $4 plus for a milkshake at Dairy Queen or a Baskin Robbins, which Baskin Robbins is one of my favorites, but that's another live within itself. But
That's another show for sure.
Yeah. So
and congratulations for that mindset.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's all here. If the mental is like I said, I had to put my mind in control. I had to learn moderation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on a diet, but if I eat that ice cream, it's going to hurt me. Or if I do. No, it's not. I learned a little secret. I've shared this before. I'll share it again. You want ice cream? Very simple. Grab a tablespoon. Take the lid off of your ice cream. Grab a heaping. tablespoon of ice cream, you're going to get 3, maybe 4 bites off of that ice cream on that spoon. You just had your ice cream. You didn't overindulge. You let your mind know you had it, your stomach had it, and it cuts off the binge. I've done it.
Absolutely.
You want a piece of candy? That's fine. Grab a couple pieces, put it in your mouth, savor it and let your mind know.
So once again, no deprivation, and you're still getting to hit your goal,
That's right.
and you're living well for less.
Yeah.
We can live well for less.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be excessive monetary. It doesn't
No.
have to be excessive food. We are living in a society of excessivity. We
That's
even call watching certain shows, too many of them, binge watching.
right.
Not a good mentality.
No, it isn't. But coming back to Lucy, you are going to save quite a bit of money preparing your own meals and eating at home versus eating out. Eating out is a very, very, very expensive way of eating. You're going to spend triple, quadruple the money. This is somebody who wants to go out and eat, at Carrabba's or some Chili's or, pretty nice restaurants. Although I heard IHOP has got new deals where you can go and eat for $5, during their happy
And
hour.
that's totally fine, taking advantage of those situations every now and then. I
yeah.
recommend treating yourself every now and
I
again.
mean, if you go and eat out maybe a couple times a week.
Right.
No, wait.
No.
Wait a minute, Steve. My fault. Let me back up. I meant to say a couple times a month.
Right.
One of the places that I like to eat, I like to go to Denny's. I was always a fan of their Value Slam and their Grand Slam breakfast. It's about five and some change, maybe 6.
Nice.
And with a drink and everything, you're probably going to pay in a tip. You probably pay like $8.59 out the door. So, not worried about that. Everybody loves me today. Please don't mind the sound.
One more thing that I want to say about that, what you just mentioned, if you don't mind, if you do something all the time, it's no longer a treat.
No. No, it's not. But I just coming back to my original reason why I wanted to come on this live is like I said, I wanted to mention, the people and thank you so much. I will get there. Slow and steady wins the race. Taking my time. In a week from now, who knows where I'll be. But now don't think I make progress each and every day. There are times that it'll plateau. I'll just level out. And then 1 or 2 days will go by and then something else will happen. That's been known to happen as well. So, but that was the main reason why I wanted to come on. I don't want people to think that I'm not acknowledging, the comments that are said. I figure why not have a one-on-one, again, thank you for being a part of this, but have a one-on-one, again, the ones that I pointed out, if I didn't get your name and you mentioned words of encouragement and niceness to me, you're also included. And I thank you very much. So, let's see, one more, comment from Lucy, and I think we're going to go ahead and bring this to a close. Oh, I love ice cream. I can't have it at home. I have no self-control. So what I do in the summer, I get 3 or 4 free ice cream cones because of a Fidelity gas card after 8 fill-ups. Oh, okay. Okay, I know where she's going with that. At a gas station, she has a card, and I think she gets gas like 8 times, and somehow I think they punch it.
Oh, how nice.
When she reaches
that's fine.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, as you know, and I know you decently well, maybe a little better, ice cream can be a guilty pleasure. There's a lot of people that don't want to keep it in their house because they'll just but I've learned It took a little bit of doing. It wasn't very hard, but
Yeah.
I've learned, you know, I go and get ice cream, and you know what works for me? And I'll pass this along. It's a little bit more expensive. You go to the store and get a little itty bitty cup of like Ben and Jerry's, well, or not Ben and Jerry, maybe Edie. There's about
There you go.
eight or
That's
10
good.
bites. 8 or 10 bites. There's a little small. Have you seen them?
Portion control. I heard of it. Portion control, money control. It all works. That's a great idea.
Money control. You're paying more to get that little cup, but that's all
Oh,
you.
that is that cup more? Oh, I don't know that. Okay.
You're only getting a cup of of ice cream about this size. You're paying $1.25.
I've been away from ice cream for so long now that it's I'm starting to forget.
Well, compare that to almost a half a gallon, whatever, 1.75 or Bluebell or whatever, and you're paying $5-6 versus $1, $1.50. This is more expensive, but you get this. This is all you eat.
Gotcha.
And if you don't know that, I'm not even going to mention the word because I'm trying to be nice here. IDIOT. You're an idiot. Sorry, I have to throw my little Judge Judy rant out there, but you're an idiot if you can't figure that out.
Figure what out?
And that's it. All right, everybody. I want to wrap this up because, like I said, I want to go rest. But I want to thank everybody.
I hope you're feeling better and keep on making progress, Steve.
It's going to happen when it happens.
That's right.
All right, everybody. Have a good morning. Have a good day, and we'll see you.
And I'll see my folks tomorrow because I'm going live on my channel at 10 o'clock. Look forward.
All right. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.